a normal part of a democratic process, and under military rule, I'm saying me standing here or sitting here, under military rule was routine for us as students. Anytime any policy we didn't like, we were on the streets. For us to now get all wound up that some unknown people are planning a protest shows that something has gone fundamentally wrong with the nature of the connection between state and society. Nothing to shoot the children of other people. Then somebody should shoot them if they think it's okay to shoot the children of other people.
Day before yesterday, the president of Israel, Netanyahu, was addressing Congress in Washington, D.C. And there was a huge crowd of protesters.
Everywhere he went to Washington,
the security protected them.
Yes.
Just created a barricade.
Close to the White House.
Okay.
So
that's what Dr. Fayed said.
I'm just saying, I'm putting Fayed. Yes.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I agree significantly with him that the way the state in current Nigeria has evolved is that it is seen as an arena of transactions, the ultimate state capture. South Africans recognized what was trying to happen in their country, and they set up a commission, the Zondo Commission, to look at state capture. I'm shocked that we have not set up a state capture commission in Nigeria already. It's only a statement about the fact that the National Assembly isn't working in Nigeria. Because by now, we should have a commission on state capture that goes further than the Zondo Commission went in South Africa.
I don't know what your thoughts are concerning, but some people are saying that the president should address the nation and talk to the people. I thought talking to the people and had all this pro-government group coming to say that the should not. What are your thoughts?
My thought is that government has broken down in Nigeria. I mean, it is normal to people to. In fact, it's also a failure of political parties. In other countries, the political parties should be organizing all these things. Saying, government, you're not doing what you should be doing. These political parties are going, woo! When young people say, wait a minute, they will shoot you. We've created a slave country. Stephen R. Covey, in his final book, his 8th habit, says that the most important habit of the 21st century is helping people find their voice. That is the duty of all of you here, to help people find their voices. The Nigerian state is determined to prevent the Nigerian people from having a voice. That is not the 21st century, and we must change that, or there will be no Nigeria. The message is that Nigerians should come together, work collaboratively to save Nigeria. Because where Nigeria is not good. The state of the motherland is bad.
That's all we did.
That's why a new tribe is being birthed. We need a new tribe to act differently from the esteemed state of the realm. I would like to thank you very, very sincerely on this occasion where we provide a little briefing on the new tribe. I know a few of you may have heard of a new tribe, some may not have. It was formally, the portal was formally inaugurated on the 1st of May. The new tribe itself will be formally inaugurated on the 1st of October, but it has been quite active. And I thought that I should provide some insights into why we have this social movement in evolution. These are unusual times. As the good book says, when sin abides, grace abide even more. The state of our motherland is troubling. You just witnessed the reading of excerpts from 2 of my most recent books. One of them opens with a tragic paradox that is apt for the current state of our motherland. In Why Not?, I opened with a then trending story of a young man who had raped his own mother to death and then sodomized her body. I had assumed immediately that it was a case of mental health until I read of some religious fetish and people assuring this young man that if he was able to rape his mother to death and sodomize her body, that he will be so rich, his wealth will not be measured. That is a testament to a culture gone mad. However, the naked truth of the matter is that it has become metaphor for our reality. In the main, what we see on the public arena of public officials carrying on with such impunity when their country is literally dying. Reminds you of the young man who raped his mother to death and didn't realize he was doing anything wrong because he imagined that he would get ridiculously wealthy if he did that. It is for the correction of this unfortunate outcome of current experience that the new tribe has been birthed. The new tribe, and you'll get us on the portal, thenewtribe.com.ng, is a coming together of citizens committed to personal integrity, a culture of merit and social justice, sacrificial service to advance the common good, the work ethic, and making production an anchor of economic engagement, and who favor reason and rational disposition over emotions of ethnicity and faith, often weaponized by political actors. The structure of a new tribe, which is a non-partisan but not an apolitical social movement, is built on 14 cohorts of social action and 7 cohorts of organization. So 21 cohorts in all. The new tribe is due to be formally unveiled on October 1. It has already become very active since its portal, thenewtribe.com, went live on May 1. The most active cohorts as of now are the healthcare cohort, the Ubuntu community cohort, the public accountability cohort, and the infrastructure and economic growth cohort, as well as the elections cohort. Now, the organizational cohort of policy is also enormously active, and when we hear the Motherland report, it will be majorly an output of that cohort. The gentleman sitting to my right, Ogene Momo, is one of those in that cohort. One of the things that will come out of that cohort that will draw input from all the other cohorts in the next 2 weeks will be what we call the Motherland report. And every 4 months, the new tribe will issue a state of the nation, which we call the Motherland report, the state of the motherland. 2 weeks from today, the leadership of the new tribe will issue the first state of the Motherland report. 4 months after, the new tribe will issue the second, and will do so every 4th month thereafter. The state of the motherland is certainly worrisome. So worrisome that notice by some not known people about impending protests has set off panic, threats, bullying, and scapegoating, resulting in pre-fabricated falsehoods by agents of the state. Man and the Chambers of Commerce are up in arms with the direction of the interest rates as monetary authorities struggle to contain inflation with high interest rates. And insecurity continues and arrive. In this season of unmasking of yesterday's pretenders and the shrinking of the club of truth sayers and those who truly believe in a just society, it is not difficult to tell that the state of the motherland is of grave ill health. I watched our friend Dele Parutimi in an interview in which he said that he thanked God for this moment because it helped him know those of his friends who used to pretend from the people who genuinely believe in some of the values that we all collectively say we espouse. Like him, I'm enormously grateful that this season opened my own eyes. I think that one of the things that have been imagined by those who exploit ethnicity and religion and all of that is that there is no really terrible consequence of those approaches once they get what they want. But I can tell you that friendships and relationships of 50, 60 years have been fundamentally cracked by what has happened to our country in the last 1 year. But I am determined as a person, because I don't have a choice anyway, the way I was raised. Story which I tell again and again. I was born in Kaduna. I was baptized in Jos. I lived in Maiduguri as an infant. I started school in Kano at St. Thomas's Primary School in Kano. The rest of my primary education took place in Our Lady of Fatima in Guzo, in what is today's Zamfara State. I moved east. I started high school in Onitsha, the Christ the King's College, Onitsha. But the bulk of my secondary education was at Loyola College in Ibadan. Having grown up so pan-Nigerian, all my close friends come from places other than what I can call my ethnic group. I really have never understood ethnicity in the way that these people who have tried to weaponize these cleavages in society try to push them. And so when I saw people that I had respect for fall so poorly for these emotions, all I could think of was why the work of Joshua Green at Harvard is so important. Joshua Green runs the Center for Moral Cognition at Harvard, and central to their work is trying to understand why emotion is so easily exploited. And Green has written a book titled Moral Tribes: Emotion, Reason, and the Gap Between Us and Them. Because these people often try to deepen these cleavages of emotion. And as you can see, it's not only Nigeria that's fallen into that trap. Around the world, as the right pushes in Europe and the United States, you see these deep cleavages and increasing turn to emotion over reason. Maybe when the work of Joshua Green and co. try to bring together neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy in their engagement on those issues, when their work is done, we may better understand why the human mind allows a very educated person to act irrationally in the focus on this gap between us and them. I am vowed never to be one of them. So whatever is the cost of it, that's who I am. If I go to Sokoto, I will sleep in the home of somebody called Musa. In fact, my typical host when I go to Sokoto is the Sultan himself. My typical host, anywhere in the Southeast, classmates of mine. And I've said before in this country that I can go to maybe 32 states in Nigeria and not have to go to a hotel if I don't want to, because I have somebody who is close enough a friend that I can sleep in their homes. I will not let politicians pursuing very narrow motives change that about me. The unmasking of just these pretenders has become fairly disconcerting, but it's our reality. Citizens have a duty to mend those things that have gone wrong. But the soul surely laments extant reality when character is said to not matter, and the lack of it is actually celebrated. Then you find in extant reality clear evidence of the point that Jared Diamond makes in Collapse, a study of how societies have failed through human history. Surely, values shape human progress, and values seem to have taken flight from our current landscape, and citizens have an obligation to seek restoration. The details will come in 2 weeks, but I plan to set the stage today. On the challenged economic growth situation. Central to the purpose of modern government is the security of citizens. Security of life and property as duty of a leviathan, the state, can be extended to the domain of his economic well-being. No one disputes that it is tough going out there. The debates have been about who brought about the hard times and how best to tackle them. Insecurity has dealt a huge blow on famine, and food price inflation is serving notice of a famine if no spectacular initiatives are rolled out. And let me say very clearly that contrary to beliefs that people raise these issues just to be nasty, as people who get into authority positions often tend to typecast, I wrote at the beginning of this year, repeatedly, that Nigeria is about to fall into a major food crisis that will drive inflation and all kinds of things. And I suggested what could be done to remedy it. I suggested that if we focused on legumes, the kinds of food that the output 3 months is there, and massively organized young people, almost using the spirit of the OFN under Obasanjo, got farm specialists, and I don't mind going back to South Africa to get them, to provide support services, inputs coming from NGOs that play in that territory, because we know from our experience and the recent Central Bank experience that when you take the traditional methods, it's all corruption and nothing really happens.